Do I think it was a suicide? You know,
If I come to you now, telling you that Donald Trump is one of those individuals who I really wanted that the Epstein files be released to the public, it is in 2026, how would be your reaction? How will you react? How will you respond to this question or to this suggestion? Different individuals have different reaction. But one of the things which I know is that Donald Trump should not be counted as one of those individuals who wanted the Epstein files to be released into the public. But there are still individuals who are in close association with Donald Trump, who still believe, who want to convince the public, who want to convince the people of the United States of America that Donald Trump was one of the most strong advocates who wanted the Epstein files to be released. And one of these individuals is a close friend, can I say a friend, or a media strategist of Donald Trump. He had an interview with Tucker Carlson, and one of his arguments was that Donald Trump strongly believed that Epstein files should be released to the public because he was one of the individuals who was innocent and he was not closely associated with Donald Trump. Let's have an observation of what this individual is trying to say about the Epstein files and Donald Trump in general.
but there's a lot of these people who used to be Trump fans, and they're Trump fans up until 9 months ago, 10 months ago. And they use the Epstein thing as the pretext of why they're no longer Trump fans. And I think that's incredibly unfair. I think the president is the only reason we have Epstein files. Trump's administration in the first term arrested Jeffrey Epstein. He put him in bars, behind bars. He put him in jail. And yes, he died in jail. Do I think it was a suicide? I'm probably with the internet on this one. But
Definitely not
but
a suicide.
the president arrested him. He took him
I agree.
off the streets so he couldn't hurt any more people. And then he campaigned in 2024, and people said, "Oh, well, Trump campaigned on the Epstein files." No, actually, he didn't campaign on that. He was asked by Lex Friedman, interesting character. He said, "Will you release the Epstein files?" Trump said, "Yeah, I'd be inclined to do so."
From your own observation, are you convinced that the explanation this individual is trying to give out to the public, that Donald Trump was strongly interested in releasing Epstein files, that it was its number one priority to release the Epstein files? From what I've read and from what I've seen, Donald Trump is one of those individuals who seriously never wanted the Epstein files to be released into the public. He came out accusing Americans that there were more important issues, and Epstein files was not one of them. He even accused the Americans that after many months are they discussing the Epstein files, his own administration came forward and said that there never existed a, a group of individuals who are so strong in terms of their financial muscle who were associated with Donald Trump. ECDOJ came forward, give out fake documents saying that those were the files which were of Epstein files. But it turned out that these were some of the documents which had already been released to the public. So for this individual to come forward, accuse Thomas Massie, Majoria Taylor Greene, and we have individuals like Nas Mills, Mars, something like that, I don't know to pronounce the name that correctly, to accuse those individuals that they never liked Donald Trump in the first place and that they are out of office, or Donald Trump went ahead and supported their opposers because Donald Trump never liked them in the first place. That's a complete lie. Donald Trump went ahead and, for example, threatened to support an individual who was going to oppose the likes of Majoria Taylor Greene. For the case of Thomas Massie, he supported his opponent because they supported a bill which was going to ensure that the government is mandated to release the Epstein files document. And in those documents, Donald Trump was mentioned more than 1,800 times. He is one of those individuals who is also mentioned in those documents. And from the discussion which Julia Taylor Greene has given forward, she said that Donald Trump called her and said that if she was going to support the release of Epstein files, the friends of Donald Trump were going to be hurt. That is the president of the United States of America. And also, there were some instances, discussions where Donald Trump said he never boarded the plane of Donald Trump. But from my own observation, from what I've read, is that Donald Trump in the 1990s boarded the plane of Epstein files 7 times. So, in this discussion, where this individual is trying to say that Donald Trump was one of the individuals in the administration of Donald Trump who strongly wanted the public to access what is in the Epstein files, that's a complete lie. There's an article which came out, I believe it was in New York, a New York article, which said that Donald Trump was one of those individuals whose his administration was trying hard to find a manner in which they were going to rescue him. They were going to ensure that his name is not tainted because they understood that if his name was to be tainted, then he was likely going to face a lot of backlash. And at the end of the day, the Epstein files which we are talking about, those files have not been released in a whole. They released a part of the documents and the other documents are remaining. From what we can observe, the documents which are already released are bad enough. There are some individuals who have already faced consequences in other countries like Britain, but when it comes to the United States of America, all these individuals are walking scot-free. There is no consequences which have been faced by this individual. So for Donald Trump and also his close associates to come forward and claim that it is Donald Trump, him as an individual, who led to the release of Epstein files, that is an abuse. That's kind of a disrespect to the American citizens and also to all those individuals who follow the politics of the United States of America. But what I can applaud this individual from the talk which Donald Trump had with Lex Friedman. Donald Trump was so instant to say that he was going to release those Epstein files. That I can somehow agree. You can observe, you can read from his own posture in which he responded to Lex Friedman about the Epstein files. It was not okay going to release those Epstein files because probably he knew what laid in those files. And this whole issue narrative that it is Donald Trump who arrested him, it is in his administration that this Jeffrey Epstein individual died. And the individuals have come up with different theories. But if Donald Trump was serious about the Epstein files issue, he could have made sure that also the public understood what led to the killing of the Epstein individual. As usual, I would like your thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts when it comes to individuals like this one, the social media strategists of Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump was one of the advocates who ensured that the Epstein files were released to the public? As usual, I request you to go ahead, subscribe, like, and also don't forget to share. See you in my next one. Siku njema.